keep answering. Anuj Palshan, Astha Khanna, Astha, Astha. Hello. Is Astha here? I just saw her a minute ago. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We are able to hear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to take attendance, and if there are people who will join a little later,
Ma'am, Astha was here. She got disconnected.
yeah, so she'll come back. But I did see Astha, and I'm trying to work out that how do I do that, whether you have done the presentation or not. Okay, Akash Gupta, Akshay
Present,
Kumar,
ma'am.
Akshay Gupta,
Akash
Akash
Gupta.
Gupta, present.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you given me your what do you call that?
No, ma'am. I'll send you by tonight.
No, no, that's okay. Just of now, you have not, no?
Yes,
Ma'am,
Okay.
Astha present. I lost my connection that time.
Yeah. Akshay Kumar Singh, Alok Gautam, Alok Kumar, Aman Kumar. Okay, this is all happening alphabetically because I have rearranged you people. So don't think that this is not the roll number wise list. There's another Aman Kumar, Amit Kumar, one more Amit Kumar, Anand Prakash Gautam,
Yes, ma'am.
Anand Prakash Gautam,
Yes, ma'am. Present.
Anil Singh. I'm assuming that anyone who is not mentioning about the interview scenario that you have not given it. Anil Singh, Anish Kumar,
Yes, ma'am.
Anjali,
Ma'am,
Anish
present.
Kumar, Anjali.
Ma'am, I've submitted my into the draft, but I have to make some certain changes that you asked me to do.
It's okay. You have given it in the first draft.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me a second. Okay, back to the attendance. Anjali has given.
Yes, ma'am.
Ankit Chawla, Ankit Tiwari,
Present, ma'am. Ankit Tiwari present.
Anukriti Sharma,
Present, ma'am.
Arun Chaudhary,
Yes, ma'am. Arun Chaudhary.
Arun Pratap Upadhyay, Ashish Singh, Ashish Kumar Verma,
Present, ma'am.
Ashish Singh.
No, ma'am. Ashish Kumar Verma.
Okay. Bharat Kumar, Gullo Manku, Shahat Verma,
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I submitted my client interview too.
okay. Sumay Mercy, Deepak,
Present, ma'am.
oh, Deepak,
Yes, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Devika Patel,
Present, ma'am.
Dinesh,
Yes, ma'am. Present.
Divya Dabas, Girish Kumar,
Yes, ma'am.
Harshit Gir,
Present, ma'am.
Himanshu Prasad Unyal,
Oh, yes, ma'am. Hemant. Yes, ma'am.
Hemant, sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Hemant Prasad Bunyal.
Yes, ma'am.
Himanshu.
Present, ma'am.
Ishu.
Present, ma'am. I have submitted my client interview.
Committed. Ishwar Singh.
Yes, ma'am.
Jaideep Kurse. Jaya Kumari. Jyoti Mehra. Karan Soni.
Yes, ma'am.
Mari Chandresh.
Yes, ma'am.
Lokesh Kumar.
Yes, ma'am. I have also submitted, ma'am.
Okay, great. Manan Agrawal. Manish
Present,
Kumar.
ma'am. Ma'am, I have submitted that client interview.
Okay. Manish Kumar. Manisha Bodwal. Mayank Kataria. Mayank Kataria.
Yes, ma'am.
Namrata Das. Nandini Goyal.
Present, ma'am. Nandini present, ma'am.
Okay. Parvez Alam.
Yes, ma'am.
Parvez, you have submitted, you are not saying so.
Ma'am, I'll submit it in today night.
आपने किया नहीं अभी तक?
Ma'am, actually, I'm a work in progress. I'm making a PPT on the client interview.
अरे पीपीटी थोड़ी चाहिए हमें क्लाइंट इंटरव्यू पे, मगर पवन गुप्ता, परवेज आलम, आपने को मुझे ख्याल ईमेल आई हुई है आपकी?
Yes, ma'am.
आपने? ओके.
Sorry, ma'am.
हाँ जी, मुझे ख्याल था कि आपका मुझे नाम याद था कि आप मुझे नहीं है. पवन गुप्ता, एक मिनट रुको, मुझे चेक करने दो. परवेज आलम. परवेज, आपका तो डॉक्यूमेंट आया हुआ है, वो किसने लिखा था? अगर आपने नहीं लिखा तो.
यस मैम, वो एक्चुअली मैम वो जो मैंने प्रॉब्लम लिखे थे एंड वो आपने बोला था ना बिट प्रीमेच्योर, तो दैट्स आई एम प्रिपेयरिंग द न्यू थिंग.
हाँ तो उसका अरे पहला राउंड तो दे दिया ना, पहला राउंड पे इम्प्रूव करते रहो. वो तो सभी लोग कर रहे हैं ना, उसमें इम्प्रूव करने में मुझे तो याद था आपका नाम जो आपने दिया है.
ओके मैम.
पवन गुप्ता. पवन गुप्ता. प्रभात सिंह राणा.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have submitted the draft.
Yeah, I remember. प्रशांत राज. पृथ्वीराज चौहान. पुनीत सिंह चौहान.
Yes, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
पृथ्वी and Puneet both present.
Yes, ma'am.
Rachit Gumbar.
Present, ma'am, and I have submitted that, and we have also formed a group of 6. In case.
You have formed your group.
Yes, ma'am.
Rahul Singh Roy. Rajiv Ranjan.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm yet to submit the.
Rahul Singh
draft.
Roy. Who's speaking?
Yes, ma'am. Rahul, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm yet to submit the draft, but we have formed a group of 6, ma'am.
Rajiv Ranjan.
Yes, ma'am. I have submitted.
You have submitted.
Yes.
Rakesh Chandra Varun.
Present, ma'am.
Rakesh Kumar Jad. Randhir Singh.
Present, ma'am. I have submitted the draft interview, ma'am.
हाँ, मगर आपने उस पर डाल दिया ना, हमारे सब पर एक्सेसिबल है तो आपको वेरिएशंस करनी पड़ेंगी. रवि प्रकाश. रेखा रानी. प्रिया.
Yes, ma'am. I have submitted my draft.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Sahil Vidhuri.
Yes, ma'am, President. Ma'am, submitted my draft.
Okay. Sanskriti Rexwal. Shubham Bansal.
Present, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Subham Ansal.
Sanskriti.
Present, ma'am.
Shwetab Sharma.
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Vedant Chaudhary. Vikas Makwana.
Present, ma'am. Vedant Chaudhary.
Present, ma'am.
Vedant is present.
Vikas Lamba.
Yes, ma'am. I have submitted the draft.
Vikas Kumar. Vinay Kansotia. Shiv Prasad.
Present, ma'am.
Neha Prakashan.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, the rest are students outside my class. I'm not going to take their attendance and I'll put them. Yeah, but the remaining can also tell me whether they're presented or not.
Hello,
Aditya
ma'am.
Raj. No. I'll call your name and tell me. Aditya Raj. Because I think there's only one person who has perhaps sent me, but I'm not very sure. Akanksha Pandey. Ankit Gupta. Anulka Mitash. Ekta Kumari. Kartik
Yes, ma'am.
Saini. Ekta Kumari.
Yes, ma'am.
So have you submitted?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Kartik Saini. Pranali Sharma. Umal Singh. Parul Mangal. Ravi Chikara. Shivanshu Porwal. Vikas Verma. Vipul Soni. Vishal Kumar. Vivek Gupta. Kalyani Theri. Ayush Dubey. Okay. Those of you are claiming that you have formed your groups, you're not going to form your groups. I'm going to do that now. Because in this exercise, and also no, you lost the opportunity. We had asked you to form groups earlier, you did not do that. But at this point of time, certainly I do not think that you have made a group with 6 people who have submitted their draft. If they are not the ones, so those two people who said they have formed their groups, please tell me the names and whether everyone in the group has submitted the draft. Anji, who has formed the groups? There are two of you who claim that you have formed your group. Please, everybody switch on your videos. I cannot have this blank class. Put on your videos.
Ma'am, we have formed a group of 5 people right now.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, Astha, Anjali, Hemant, Prabhat, and Rahul. So,
Have they all presented their draft?
Rahul has not submitted yet, but he'll do so.
Whoever not will not be in the group at this point of time. The groups can be made of only those people who have submitted their drafts.
All right. So we have 4 people then. Astha, Anjali, Hemant, Prabhat, and can we add Rahul as soon as he submits?
You will have to send me in writing.
All right, ma'am.
And make sure that whoever send me the group should be the one who was said now that yes, they have presented, or even they're not present just now, but I've already received their drafts.
Okay.
Because today we have got 64 as of now, and I could see that there are very few actually who are from the class who have attended, and very few who have attended have given. But they are the ones who are going to form the groups. And the first round, as and when we start this, will happen, and in case any round will happen only for those people who have submitted their drafts. If you do not submit, and remember, this is a practice activity. You do not want to learn, you're very welcome not to learn. You want to learn, then work for it. If you do not practice, you will straight away take your exam on the subject. There will be an exam on the subject, and we are still trying to find out the best way to do it. But there will be an exam of this activity. It's I forget now, it's a 5-mark or a 10-mark exam, and you will all have to do that, whether you participate in the practice or not. It is in your interest that if you want to improve your practical skill of interviewing, then do the needful. If you don't want to do it, it's up to you. I'm not insisting that everybody must participate. If you don't want to do it, no, your life, you are mature enough to decide on this issue. So, okay, having done that, let's come back to, so I'll do this homework and post the list I have. If I do not hear from you people getting those lists, so whoever will be left out will be accordingly clubbed together. There are some chat box here. Your audios keep lagging and video is not showing. I cannot help you. You have to help yourself. You have to find out what is your bad network or good network. I don't hear you call my name. I did. Jumai, you are present, so I'll mark you present, but I don't think you have present. You have given us the draft. Jumai, can you speak up? You have not given me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so
Yes,
I'll mark
ma'am.
you present, all right.
Network connectivity.
Okay. Shwetab Sharma, did you respond to your roll call?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But you did not say orally that you
Hello.
have submitted.
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Shwetab, you didn't mention it in the oral part.
Yes, ma'am. I
Okay.
have submitted.
So लिख दिया मैंने. Then Neha Prakashan, not receiving your intimation on my mail. We are not getting intimations on mail. We would send invitations to join the meet, and all other information is on the dashboard. People classroom, I have sent you an invitation. If you don't join, that is your choice, Neha Prakashan. You were sent invitation the moment you took admission. And then the invitations were sent out also for the meet. So there are 2 invitations which have come, not 2 actually, you should have got 5 invitations, 1 for joining the class and 4 for every day. So anyone of you who hasn't received an invitation, because you might have joined late when I send the group invitation, write to me. I will include your name in the meet for the 4 days. Then you don't have to take permission from me every time you join the class. Are there some CLC students? Anybody from CLC who joined today?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is this?
Ma'am, I am Rinalini.
Rinalini, is there a format email roaming around in your center that everybody from CLC whoever wants to join my class, it's a standard format. Everybody just changes their name and class roll numbers and send it to me. You people can't even write your own emails. So now stop refusing to grant permissions to people who cannot even send me an independent email. And this is, I'm insisting, because each one of you have to learn to write. You just can't do copy paste.
Yes, ma'am.
So therefore, this is a lesson for everybody that if you want to send me a mail, write a personal mail to me. There's no standard format for joining my class or applying for joining my class. Okay. The housekeeping done. There was some network issue in a consortia. I could not submit my attendance. Now I'm going to take attendance online in any case. Today is 7th.
मैम मैम हमारा भी ग्रुप बन चुका है 6 का, लेकिन 3 ने अभी तक ईमेल भेजा नहीं है आपको.
कितनी बारी मैं ये बात रिपीट करूंगी कि आज ग्रुप उन्हीं का बनेगा जिन्होंने सबमिट किया है, उनका नहीं बनेगा जिन्होंने अभी तक सबमिट नहीं किया है. I'm not going to spend class time and my off time reminding you people that it is in your interest that you start working. You don't want to work, it's fine with me because it is less work for me as well. You have to send it, then I have to respond to only those emails. So if you don't want to do your own work, I'm perfectly fine with that. The only thing I'm letting you know is that there will be an exam on this component. And this is an occasion for you to practice. If you do not want to practice, this is also perfectly fine with me.
Okay.
You cannot make group unless this person has already sent me a scenario so far. Those people who will send me now onwards will form a different group. They cannot be in the group which has sent it earlier. Because for me, these are active people. Active people are all together. The longer, the more lazy you are, you will be clubbed with more lazy like you. That's the principle I'm operating with. And if you want your friends to be in your groups, encourage them to do the work along with you. I've been saying make groups from day one. If you're now waking up, then it's too late. So, okay. Vinay Consortia. Attendance. But so, okay, now let's come to the substance of today's discussion. Astha Khanna has been the one who has prepared a presentation for today. Before we ask her to present, two of you did mention something about the reading you have done. Who else have done your reading? Please raise your hand. I would like all of you to raise hand virtually. You know how to raise your hand virtually? हेमंत करण तो अपना ऐसे हाथ उठा रहे हैं, ऐसे तो वर्चुअल थोड़ी है ये, वर्चुअल उठाओ. वर्चुअल की अगर ऑप्शन नहीं मिल रही है तो समझ लो आपने अभी तक ऑड एक्सटेंशन डाउनलोड नहीं किया है. बस मुझे ना इसमें विजुअल दिख जाता है इमीडिएटली अगर आप लोग सब वर्चुअल देते हो मुझे, तो वीडियोस ऑन नहीं कर रहे हो. So Hemant, what did you find interesting in the reading? Hemant, do you want to speak?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I done the reading of Don Peter, in which they talk about the lawyer need of information before apply their knowledge of law, or providing the listening, how they are listen to the client during an interview.
तो how का जवाब में क्या है? What is the answer to the how?
Ma'am, there is many points, ma'am. Like in first one is like questioning, and which questioning like probing questioning. At initial stage, if you are lawyer doing a probing questioning, it is suppress the material fact from the side of a client. They are not able to express their full potential or full knowledge of a fact. They are not able to give make a proper presentation of that before a lawyer.
Has everybody got the materials? There are only six. There's 6 plus 5, 10. There are about 10 people who said that yes, they have read the materials. Why the others did not read? The yes, ma'am, which are coming now are coming, I believe, in the response to the question. You got the materials. Why all these yeses are not coming in relation to, have you read the material? I need as many yeses to that question as well. All the outsiders, you said you will follow the principles of the class. So the class principles
I've
are
read
laid
it.
down by me, not by the student who are not reading. So if I say read, everybody has to read, whether in the class or outside, from outside the class. Everybody has to read. Remember, we do not want to spend time of the class reading what is already with you. Neha, what did you say? Neha, you said something? If you are not talking to us, then please mute yourself. And certainly mute your cell phones. Neha? Hello? Kindly mute yourself. Hello? Hello? Neha? Neha? Neha Prakashan? Madam Neha Prakashan. Everybody can see how disturbing it can be if you do not follow the protocols of a class. Because Neha got a phone call. She expected all of us should listen to a conversation. Neha Prakashan? Neha Prakashan? Can you please mute yourself? I do not know whether she's attending this class. She's having phone calls, she's not responding to what we are saying, and she's disturbing the whole class. Can I ask again everybody to switch on your videos? When you will see this class recording, the only thing you will see is me repeating the same things again and again. Switch off your, mute yourself, unmute yourself, switch on your videos. There will be no time spent on the subject matter of the class. Only disciplining. Everybody, please put your videos on. Is Neha Prakashan back in the class? I think I'll have to just throw her out of the class. People just can't come to the class and not pay attention to what's happening in the class. So, okay. Let's think of a scenario where if I was to ask you to share something which has been your most embarrassing moment in life. How comfortable, and I say, okay, pick up a person you do not know and share your most embarrassing moment in your life with this person. How uncomfortable would you be? And for what reasons? Why would you not want to share it with the other? Can anyone write in the chat box to tell me, if I was to ask you, and suppose I am asking you, that share the most embarrassing moment in your life with a class fellow. I'm not saying share it publicly, but a class fellow you have not known before. Who will be willing to do that? Is there anyone in the class who will be wanting to do that? Yeah, I'm asking you, I've given you scenario, not who of this situation. This is the scenario. So, Anukriti Sharma, you're ready?
Yes, ma'am.
So, do you want to pick up somebody you do not know to share it with?
Ma'am, I'll just randomly pick a person. Hemant Uniyal.
You do not know Hemant before?
No, ma'am.
Why would you think you can share it with Hemant but not with others?
Ma'am, actually, Hemant is the first person I saw on the screen, and his face looks very calm. So I thought that why not share it with him?
Okay, so this has given you the his appearance have given you the confidence that you can share it with him, and what will be the consequence? What do you expect will be the consequence from your impression of Hemant?
Of my,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am, sorry, I did not hear you.
If you share something which was embarrassing in your life with Hemant, what do you expect Hemant to do?
Ma'am, I would expect him to first acknowledge and then probably just give me some kind of expressions that shows that he's understanding what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah, so if my situation is
Is there
comical,
anything else? Is there anything else you would expect Hemant to do?
ma'am, I would not want him to fill in the blanks for me. Like if I'm stopping somewhere, yeah, if I'm stating something with some kind of intention. So every time there is a preconceived reply also that we as a speaker comprehend. So if Hemant is not giving that reply of that kind of a tangent, then I think that and if in fact it would be exactly opposite of what I'm expecting, then I think I'll be uncomfortable having this conversation with him.
Right. So as a starting point, you found there was an affinity that you think that you can speak with him without being judged for what you say, expecting an empathetic hearing, not supplying information which you do not want to, not kind of putting ideas into the conversation. So you want a very sympathetic, empathetic listening from him. Would you expect him to keep what you share with him a secret, only
Definitely,
known
ma'am.
to him and not to others?
Definitely, ma'am. If I have mentioned it as a cautionary measure, then I would certainly expect him to keep the information with himself. And one more thing, ma'am, I would not want him to listen in a way where he is extracting more information, more than what I'm willing to tell, like invade my personal space.
Right. So there has to be a deference given to also that what you want to share and not probe much further. As lawyers, this will be certainly your first experience. The clients will come with a certain level of information which they're ready to share at this point of time to first judge you, to find out, are you trustworthy? Are you empathetic? Are you a good listener? Are you being judgmental? And it is only after they have made up their mind about you as a person, then they will decide whether they can give you what we consider the sensitive information, as the damaging information, as the further details. There might be a lot of reasons because of which in the first conversation, and this is only, she picked up Hemant because Hemant has a video on. There are only 4 or 5 of you. So she had very limited choice to pick up a person. Even though the class consists of 64 people, they're not giving other people to say, okay, come and speak with me. So everybody has to learn this, that with your photographs, people don't want to talk to you. If you want people to talk to you, you need to be accessible. And certainly, I think it was a very important learning that your facial expression also conveys certain level of comfort. So for, I forget, what was your name? Mrinalini? No. student who was speaking, who was ready to share?
Anukriti.
Anukriti. So Anukriti is not visible, of course. We do not know what Hemant thinks about this person. Looking at the face, and I think it is important that when we said the other day also that really our faces also convey lots of things, and we have to be careful with our facial expressions, because the first thing is before we start speaking, people make up their mind about us. So, okay, I think you can take 30 seconds break, and then we will start with Astha's presentation. And in 30-second break, you can just stretch yourself. Be just quiet, whatever you want to. Take a sip of water, and we resume in 30 seconds. I certainly want a big sip of water. Nobody wants to stand up and stretch? So Astha, are you ready? Astha is still looking at her watch. It's not 30 seconds yet.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have one request. Ma'am, क्या आप थोड़ा सा जब ये पढ़ाते हो थोड़ा हिंदी में कन्वर्सेशन कर सकते हो, बिकॉज मेरे लिए काफी डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है मैडम अंडरस्टैंड करना।
अभी तो फाइनल ईयर तक आता तो कुछ तो समझ आ जाना चाहिए।
मैडम वो कुछ समझ आता है, फिर जो इम्पोर्टेंट रह जाता है ना वो फिर सर के ऊपर से चला जाता है।
तो अब मैं जो समझ में नहीं आया वो पूछ लिया करूँ, क्योंकि मैं बहुत हिंदी में बोलने लगी हूँ। पहले तो मैं एक अक्षर भी नहीं बोलती थी हिंदी में, लेकिन मैं बहुत हिंदी में बोलने लगी हूँ।
नहीं मैम, थोड़ी सी डिफिकल्टी होती है तो प्लीज थोड़ा सा।
हाँ, क्योंकि क्लास में कुछ ऐसे भी लोग हैं जिनको हिंदी नहीं आती। थोड़ा बहुत तो मैं बोलती हूँ हिंदी में। बताओ आज क्या समझ में नहीं आया जो अभी तक बोला?
मैडम फिर आप गुस्सा मत करना, बाकी वो जो आपने ग्रुप में लेके जो बात कही थी वो मैं नहीं समझ पाया कि आप किस बारे में कह
कहा है कि अभी मैं ग्रुप बनाऊंगी। जिन जिन लोगों ने अभी तक प्रॉब्लम जो मैंने भेजा था ना मैसेज कि आप भेजिए क्लाइंट इंटरव्यू के लिए सिनेरियो लिख के भेजिए। कुछ लोगों ने भेजे, ज्यादातर लोगों ने नहीं भेजे। तो जिन लोगों ने भेजे हैं अभी सिर्फ उन लोगों के ही ग्रुप बनेंगे।
जी मैम।
और 2-3-4 लोगों ने बोला जी हमने ग्रुप बना लिया है, 6 लोगों का ग्रुप बनाया है, इसमें 3 लोगों ने दे दिया, 3 अभी देंगे। मैंने कहा नहीं, उनका ग्रुप नहीं बनेगा, क्योंकि जिसने अभी तक दे दिया मतलब सारे एक्टिव बच्चे हैं। एक दफा कहा और खट उन्होंने सिनेरियो मुझे भेज दिए। तो जो बाकी ढीले वाले बच्चे हैं और ढीले वाले बच्चे सब इकट्ठे एक ग्रुप में रहेंगे।
जी मैम।
जो चतुर क्या कहते हैं उसको, चतुर नहीं, जो एक्टिव बच्चे हैं वो एक ग्रुप में रहेंगे। यही करें। और आगे से भी यही होगा। ये कहा है कि ये इसका क्लाइंट इंटरव्यू पे एग्जाम होगा। तो अगर आप लोग एग्जाम बिना प्रैक्टिस के देना चाहते हो तो मुझे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। एग्जाम देना कंपलसरी है, प्रैक्टिस में हिस्सा लेना आपकी मर्जी है। आप लोग सब समझदार हो, बड़े हो। अगर आप चाहते हो कि सोचते हो कि भाई आपको प्रैक्टिस की जरूरत नहीं है, आप सीधा एग्जाम दे सकते हो, तो ठीक है, मुझे कोई दिक्कत थोड़ी है। जितने कम लोग काम करेंगे प्रैक्टिस में, मुझे उतना ही कम काम करना पड़ेगा। तो मैं भी तो काम चोर होना चाहती हूँ। मैं क्यों ज्यादा काम करूँ जब आप नहीं करना चाहते? तो ठीक है ना?
ठीक है मैम।
हाँ, तो मुझे अगर 10 बच्चे भेजेंगे तो मुझे तो बहुत अच्छी बात है। 70 के बदले मुझे सिर्फ 10 के लिए रिस्पॉन्ड करना पड़ेगा, 10 का ही तो इंटरव्यू कराना पड़ेगा प्रैक्टिस में। एग्जाम तो 70 का लेना पड़ेगा, कोई बात नहीं, मैं वो तो लेना ही लेना है। तो आगे समझ बात है पूरी?
जी मैम।
अब बाकी को भी आगे जिन्होंने नहीं हिम्मत जुटाई कहने की हिंदी में समझा दो, उनको भी समझ आ गई होगी। तो अगर आगे से कोई भी मैं काम दूंगी और आप लोग नहीं करोगे तो मैं इंसिस्ट नहीं करूंगी करो, अब ना करना चाहो ना करो। एग्जाम देने के लिए तैयार हो तो ठीक है, क्योंकि इसमें सारा ओरल एग्जाम होगा, काफी सारा। ओरल एग्जाम बिना प्रैक्टिस के देना चाहते हो तो ठीक है, मुझे क्या दिक्कत है। आप प्रैक्टिस करना चाहते हो, मुझे लगता है आपके फायदे में है, और आप अपना फायदा नहीं चाहते हो तो मुझे क्या, मुझे कोई परेशानी नहीं है इस बात से, अगर अपना खुद ही फायदा ना चाहो तो। आस्था, यू आर रेडी?
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo. Let's have, she's done a very comprehensive presentation on the reading. And let's see, and those of you who have read the reading, keep track of what all points has she covered. She has done a very, very exhaustive one. So I said, no, do not, you cannot present the whole thing, every single point. So now she has picked up some important things which she thinks are important for the class to know. In about 15 minutes or so, she'll do this presentation. And then those of you who have read the material can add that something which you think is equally important, but she has not mentioned in her presentation. Okay? So yes, Asta.
Yes, ma'am. So this is the very first reading of our case material, client interviewing in matrimonial cases. First, I would like to know if you know the meaning of these terms: lawyer, client, counseling, and client interview. Can anyone define these terms?
क्लाइंट वो है जो सामने बैठा हुआ है और अपनी प्रॉब्लम लेके आया है। Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
एंड क्लाइंट इंटरव्यू वही है जो अपनी प्रॉब्लम लेके आया हुआ है, उसका मतलब पूछताछ होगी कि आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम है, क्या चीज़ें हैं, किस चीज़ से आप गुजर रहे हो और क्या आप सॉल्यूशन चाहते हो। और काउंसिल और लॉयर वही हो गया जो उसकी प्रॉब्लम्स के लिए फाइल करेगा, आगे उसको फर्दर हेल्प करेगा।
So in a nutshell, if I define these four terms, then client is a person, natural or legal, who approaches the lawyer for legal assistance, or he is a person using the services of a professional person or organization. Then counsel is derived from the Latin word consilium, which means advice. So a lawyer gives advice and assistance in legal matters. Next, counseling. Counseling is to listen and understand the problem of the other person and offer solutions. Then client interview is where client opens up and discusses problems and concerns and express his expectations. The lawyer listens, notes down, and questions the clients for necessary information.
What is the difference between counseling and interviewing?
Ma'am, that was I was thinking to ask. Is interviewing a more formal process and counseling can be both formal and informal?
No, when you are saying counseling in the context of clients, because no, this is the misunderstood term. हम लोग के उसको ना सलाह देनी, अरे झगड़ा हो रहा है तो कोई बात नहीं, तुम चुप हो जाया करो अगर लड़ाई हो गई तो। ये तो काउंसलिंग हमारी सोशल ग्रुप्स की काउंसलिंग होती है। हस्बैंड वाइफ में लड़ते रहते कुछ बात नहीं होती है, घर में रहते तो बर्तन तो खड़कते रहते हैं। This is not the counseling we are talking about. When you're talking about client counseling.
Ma'am, may I try?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, in a client interview, the facts of the case and what has happened would be extracted through different kinds of conversation, active listening or passive listening from the client. Whereas in counseling, what is the right legal approach? What should be done? That idea is to be provided to the client. So after taking the interview, what has happened and how a client should go ahead in within the legal corners to achieve his goal. That is the difference between interview and counseling.
Yeah, so the better word is actually legal advice. It may be that you don't have a case, you have a case. These are the various options. You can go for mediation, you can go for litigation, you can go for conciliation. So this is what we are talking about in terms of counseling. So interviewing, we are gathering the information, we are the stage of information gathering, and counseling is a stage where we start talking in terms of the future course of action. What are the possibilities? So, okay, Asta, continue.
So what is the purpose of client counseling and interviewing? The lawyer is required to know the factual dimensions of the client's situation. Basically, neat packages of facts are a predicate for professional activity by lawyers. So the fundamental purpose of interviewing is to know the facts story on which the case would be built. The lawyer will have to extract the necessary information and identify the legally sensitive facts in order to build the story. Then it is also for building the professional relationship with the client. You listen to him, you discuss his problems with him, which builds a rapport with him. Then understanding the expectations of the client, what are his interests, expectations and concerns, and giving him the solution for the same. Then what are the techniques of interviewing? Attending to small things in meticulous manner can provide fruitful discussions. Then lawyers should be patient and careful listeners. They should not interrupt in between. Lawyers should listen with interest and ensure uninterrupted hearing. Office staff should also be instructed accordingly. Lawyers shall mind the manner and tone of their questions. They should not sound too rude or too professional or too emotional. Then silences will have to be tolerated. If there is a silence, you do not need to fill in that silence. Unwarranted interruptions are not required. Then there should be an atmosphere that encourages expression of feelings, and the lawyer should not make an atmosphere which would discourage the client from sharing information. Then, particularly talking about matrimonial interviews, the clients are going through an emotional breakdown or mental breakdown because there's a dissolution of close human bond, or there can be an issue of allocation of custody, support privileges, distribution of marital assets. So you need to handle accordingly. Then acquiring accurate information is challenging. So lawyer needs to take care of this. Then what is a successful lawyer-client interview? One should not be judgmental. One should not be impolite, arrogant, or rude. Then what should be the lawyer's approach? Participatory model of presentation and client-centric approach. This choice proceeds from an assumption that matrimonial clients are rational, self-directed, and capable of making their own decisions. The lawyer should not try to force the clients to make a particular decision. Although the strong emotional currents of the divorce experience occasionally challenge these assumptions, most clients ultimately derive more satisfaction from the divorce outcome in which they actively participate. Then a client-centric approach is most likely a way to generate a client commitment to a working relationship. Then this is the difference between traditional approach and client-centered approach. You can go through it. Then the wrong approach. You look at this whenever the client is trying to tell something or express the emotions, the lawyer is interrupting. The lawyer is trying to force the answers. So,
Asa, can you go back to your previous slide? I don't think it was sufficiently there for us to read.
Yes, ma'am. This one or the other one?
Yeah, this one. Have you read the points? Discovered some of them.
The traditional approach is a professional relationship. It is only where the lawyer thinks that he knows everything, he knows the laws, he now knows the facts, and he can handle the case on his own. Whereas in a client-centered approach, there's a participatory method where the client also participates in the case. then in traditional we know that lawyers deal with these situations on daily basis, so they can say it's no big deal or it's just another case. But whereas in client centered approach, the lawyer would say that there are some legal and non-legal dimensions to your case and we can discuss it. Then the clients the lawyer can be too emotionally wrapped up. The clients can be too emotional. Then in client-centered approach, clients retain control over right to decision making, and lawyer is not the only person making the decision for the client. Then there should be balancing of legal, non-legal concern. Client's emotional investment is there in a problem, so a lawyer should respect that. Lawyer should respect the autonomy, intelligence, dignity, and morality of the case. In traditional approach, however, providing legal solutions which are unconnected to client's legal and non-legal concerns. So a client does not know the law, so he is not bothered with the law. You should be available even for non-legal concerns. Do not be too involved in his emotional baggage, but be there for him. Then you can read this, the wrong approach.
Why it is wrong?
It is wrong because here we can see the lawyer is taking the immediate control of the interview and force the client to respond to questions from his agenda and not what the client wants to share. This approach does not gather information efficiently because the lawyer cannot, at least at this stage, ask every conceivably relevant question. This approach may also harm the reputation of the lawyer because it communicates implicitly that lawyer knows what is important and what is not important. So lawyers cannot hear and understand information if they are talking and not listening. So listening is something very important in order to build your case.
So what makes you say, go back to the previous slide, what makes you say that the lawyer was not listening?
Ma'am, actually, ma'am, the responses were actually the lawyer was more interrogative rather than being reflective.
No, can you pick up any part of the conversation to show that he was not listening, he was on his agenda? It's correct, the Rasta said right that he was on his agenda, but what are the sentences?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, in the first sentence only, she was saying she never, he was saying she never loved me. I don't want her to get a cent. तो एकदम से लॉयर ने उसको सुनने की वजह उसने सीधा क्वेश्चन ये कर दिया कि हाउ लॉन्ग हैव यू बीन मैरिड, जो कि वो उससे इतना रिलेट नहीं करता है. तो इसीलिए वो जो जिस लाइन पे थी, वो जिस इमोशनल बैलेंसिंग पे वो आना चाह रही थी, वो वहां पे वो आ ही नहीं पाई. उससे पहले लॉयर ने अपना क्वेश्चन पुट अप कर दिया. तो वो अपनी
इसमें क्लाइंट मेल है कि फीमेल है? इसमें क्लाइंट मेल है कि फीमेल है?
मेल है. मेल है
जी. हाँ, तो पूरे कन्वर्सेशन देखिए, वो क्या बात करना चाह रहे हैं जो क्लाइंट आए हैं और लॉयर क्या बात करना चाह रहे हैं. तो डिफरेंट कन्वर्सेशन चल रही है. उसको अपना एजेंडा है कि टिक मार्क मैं कर दूं, मुझे ये इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए डिसाइड करने के लिए कि मेरा इसका केस बनता है डाइवोर्स का कि नहीं बनता है. मगर वो भी इमोशनल प्लान पे है. शुरू में उसने वही बोला, उसने कभी मुझे प्यार भी नहीं किया, मैं उसको एक पैसा भी नहीं दूंगा, एक सेंट भी नहीं दूंगा, एक नया पैसा भी नहीं दूंगा. वो अभी भी उसी बात में जा रहा है. वो बोले कि कितने साल में शादी हुआ था, 7 साल जवाब दिया, मगर he was still on his emotional platform. Love has been dead for the last 6 years. तो अभी इमोशनल लेवल पे चल रहा है. ये वो टेक्निकल सवाल पे आ गया, कहाँ शादी हुई, यहीं हुई थी कोर्ट हाउस में. फिर उसमें आर यू लिविंग टुगेदर, नो. फिर वो अभी जो है वो फिर से और बताना चाह रहा है. You see, वो जिसका भाग गई, तो वो उसकी बात भी सुना, किसके भाग गए, कब भाग गए, क्या हुआ, वो कुछ नहीं, वो सब वो बातें करना चाह रहा है. इमोशनल लेवल का अपना पूरी शेयर करना चाहता है. मगर लॉयर कह रहा है कि ठीक है, अभी कितने दिन से अलग रहते हो, मतलब भागी कब थी, नोट कर लिया और उसके बाद में वो यही पूछ रहा है कि ठीक है टेक्निकल इंफॉर्मेशन दे दो मुझे. So there's no conversation actually happening. He's gathering information, and that's why we're saying this is not the right approach. It is give them or the clients some chance to speak up what they want to say. फिर आपने डिटेल ऑफ फिर इन द ब्लैंक्स कर लेना. Yes, Asta, continue.
Then listening can be of two types, active listening and passive listening. Let's learn about active listening first. It is the most effective rapport building tool. It is also called supportive listening because here you are supporting your client, you are encouraging counter questions, you are making sure that you have heard the client, you are reflecting on the feelings. Listening fully with ears, eyes, and complete attention is equal to active listening. That is, when you listen with your whole body, it is called active listening. According to a study, people normally speak at the rate of 125 words per minute, but listen at the rate of 500 words per minute. So the gap in between is how the lawyer makes the reputation in front of the client, how he encourages the client to speak up.
इससे पता चलता है जब क्लास होती है तो आपका दिमाग कहीं कहीं कहाँ भाग जाता है, क्योंकि वो है ना 250 वर्ड्स की जगह है. अभी अगर टीचर ने 250 वर्ड बोले तो 250 वर्ड तो खाली है, तो उस वक्त में हम कुछ कुछ और सोचने लग जाते हैं. सो वो सोचने में ना लगे ना फॉर अस टू से कि अभी हम अटेंशन नहीं देते क्योंकि हम तो कुछ और सोच रहे हैं, टाइम था हमारे पास. तो साइंटिफिक फैक्ट की वजह से वी नीड टू ट्रेन आवर माइंड टू फील दोस 250 worth of time to still focus on what is being talked about. तो बहुत important है कि हमारे जो listening की capacity है और जो दूसरे की बोलने की capacity है उसमें difference है, जिस वजह से हमारे पास extra time बच जाता है. Yes.
So when you interview a client, not necessarily in a matrimonial setup, but otherwise also you should listen to understand. You should take non-verbal cues as well. You should slow down and practice silence. It gives the time. It gives time to the client to reflect what he wants to share. Ask deeper questions. Avoid interruptions. Let the client complete. Train mind. Don't be distracted. Don't keep on doing any other work while you are listening to your client's concerns. Then withhold judgment. You can evaluate, but you do not judge people. Then what to avoid while listening? Filling the gap between speaking and listening with your preconceived notions or preoccupations. Then do not anticipate, assume, or conduct premature diagnosis because the facts and circumstances of each case is different. Then keeping quiet only to find an opening to get the floor again. No, let the client finish. Let the client share everything. You do not need to show that you know everything. Then daydreaming and fantasizing. Sorry?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. Then do not create associations. Do not share your personal experience with the clients. Do not try to relate your experience with that of clients. Do not be distracted. Then there is something called cursory listening and shallow listening. Cursory listening is when just going through the motions, but the listener is either multitasking or not really interested in what's being said. Pay attention. Then there is shallow listening. The listener believes they already know what the speaker is leading to and already knows the answer or what they are going to say next. This type of listening is often underpinned by arrogance, and listener fails to hear what is actually being said. Then what should a lawyer do? Respond to pauses and sometimes even questions with a response that reflects in different words what clients have said. Just rephrase the words. Rephrase what the client has told you. Do not add your words. Communicate back in different words that prove an understanding of the client's message. Then these are the degrees of active listening. Please go through it.
आप लोग पढ़ पा रहे हैं? I need to
Yes, ma'am.
change my step.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is everything clear on this slide?
Ma'am, here they reason out with the client or he's reasoning out internally. I mean, find some logic or something there. So ma'am, thinking is internally, but reasoning is with respect to
एक आर्टिकल पढ़ा था
मैम, इतना आगे तक नहीं पढ़ा था, एक्टिव लिसनिंग स्टार्टेड किया था
तभी सवाल पूछ रहे हो।
मैम ठीक है, फिर मैं आप आंसर मत दीजिए, मैं खुद ढूंढ लूंगा। आई विल सर्च फॉर माई सेल्फ आंसर, दैट वुड बी बेटर।
I don't know because ये सारा paraphrasing कैसे करते हैं वो सब examples दिए हैं ना। Pasta can't teach you everything in this class.
Okay.
वे कहते हैं सब recap होता है क्लास में।
May I move to the next slide? Then, while interviewing a matrimonial client, you need to be like a mirror. You do not need to evaluate or judge, you just need to reflect. That is, effective active listening responses should be neutral plus non-evaluative. They convey only proof of hearing and understanding by reflecting statements in different words. You do not need to add your own content to it.
Can you give any example?
If the client is sharing the problem, like my husband comes late at night and he's alcoholic or something, and I do not like it. So the lawyer do not need to add emotions to it. He can just say, okay, that I understand that many people do not like when their husbands come home late at night and with just a minute. There was an example that it is not encouraged that you like alcoholic husbands.
Or the lawyer could just say, it must be difficult, I understand. That's it.
But never say I understand.
By saying so, the lawyer is neutral. He's not judging what the husband is doing on, and he's not even evaluating. He's just acknowledging that, yes, it was difficult for her, and he listened to her.
Yes, only this much can be said, na Vivek? So it must have been difficult.
But it can also be phony, that you're just saying that I know it is difficult or I understand.
No, because if I say I understand, that may be phony. If I say no, it is only that there are 2-3 choices. One is that I keep quiet. She or he keeps on saying about their things, and we do not show any empathy that we are even listening. So it must be difficult. That's it. It was difficult or not? No, to say that, no, to suggest that it was difficult, that no, you must have found it very difficult to deal with. Then you are assuming that she must find it difficult. She might have just ignored it. But certainly what we are emphasizing, go back to the previous one. So what we are saying here is that when if somebody is, somebody is saying that I'm very upset, she's on the verge of crying. Now, how do you respond to a client who's crying? And it says mirror is not evaluation. How do you show that you are empathetic, that you're not being evaluative?
By offering water to drink.
ये तो नहीं कहता ना कि अब इसमें रोने की क्या बात है?
Ma'am, the right thing when a client would be crying would be by just offering water to drink, or maybe the tissue. That's it.
Yeah. So no, that's certainly the kind of giving, you want a break. So that you're acknowledging, you're not being judgmental. So you kind of stop that conversation that, okay, she perhaps needs a break to recover. And, maybe take some water, you want to use the, you want to wash your face. So something, just kind of sitting there and watching it, ठीक है, when इसका emotional turmoil खत्म होगा, फिर से बात करेंगे. So watching and quietly seeing her is not a good response. You have to acknowledge that she is upset, she or he is upset at this point of time, but you have the patience to let her or him go through that period. So that's what we're talking about. That when you convey only proof of hearing and understanding by reflecting statements in different words. Paraphrasing. So when she is using the word paraphrasing, how do you say the same thing in different words is what we're talking about. Let's next ask that.
Then attentive listening involves holding eye contact, maintaining good posture, nodding, mirroring speaker's body language to show interest, allowing speaker to complete entire thoughts or speech. Then reflection listening involves repeating and paraphrasing what speaker has said to show that you truly understand what they are trying to tell you. Then content reflections. In this particular kind of reflection, your response should be, you said this about this. That means you just need to reflect what the content of the speech was. The client here says, I want the house because I was responsible for acquiring it. Lawyer says, getting the house is a priority because your efforts enabled you to get it. So he is not adding any content, but he is just reflecting what the client just told him.
Because when you do the content reflection, you convey to the client that you have understood what the client has said. So therefore, it helps to paraphrase and say, reflect on the content you have that the client has said. Yeah.
So phrases like, please correct me if I get this wrong, let me see if I understand this, or am I correct, that can be used to avoid inaccurate content reflections. So this helps you also in understanding whether you are clear about what the situation is or not. If there is any misunderstanding, the client can clear it right away. Summarizing the facts after a long narration established understanding and clarity. Another technique involves phrasing a question by incorporating a portion of client's previous remarks. So just leading the client towards a situation. Then feeling reflections. That was what the client has said. You are reflecting on the content. Now you are reflecting on the feeling. Miss Smith, clenching her fist, speaking with an increasingly loud tone of voice. Then I found out he has been playing around with his secretary, bangs her fist on the table. I couldn't believe it. Lawyer, his conduct makes you furious. Here, the client has not spoken that she is furious or something. The lawyer has reflected on the feelings by saying that his conduct makes you furious. The lawyer here identified a strong feeling expressed non-verbally and reflected it. The statement mirrored the feeling. It did not evaluate it. Lawyers should not press a client to discharge emotion. If clients choose to do so, fine. If not, then also it's fine. Then phrasing the feeling reflections. Reflecting unexpressed feelings and emotions. Do not minimize the client's feelings. Whenever she is crying or telling you something, you do not say that, I know it makes you upset. Upset might minimize her feelings. So introductory phrases like I can understand or I can understand how that would make you angry are phony and patronizing. Then lawyers also struggle to find the right word because they have damaged emotional system, and lawyers' preoccupation with rational or objective aspects of lawyering. So in order to find the words, you need to understand the client situation. Do not use just random words which would upset the client, which would make the client think that you do not pay enough heed to her or his emotions. Then this is a chart where you can find the feeling reflections terminology. Then
I'd like to add something here.
Yeah.
It is very important to accurately capture the intensity of the emotion of the client.
Right.
In case if you do it incorrectly, then it affects the rapport between you and the client. So if, for example, if the client is, as you have given the example also, if the client is angry, then you have to reflect it that he is angry or she is angry. In case if you say that you're upset, or if you decrease the intensity of the emotion, then it means that you have not it means for the client that you have not understood it correctly. So,
Exactly. You might lose a client.
sorry.
Then, types of feeling reflections. Identify the non-verbal conduct or vaguely expressed emotion communicated. Distinguish between the description of past feelings the client is presently experiencing. The past feeling should be left unreflected. Then every feeling reflection should be purposeful. It must be taken into account while building the story. Developing and using active listening skills neither manipulates clients to express their feelings nor invades their privacy. It is simply a way to gain information and build rapport. Then effective questioning. We have already discussed this in the previous class, that what are open questions or leading questions, closing questions, and we have just discussed what reflective what feeling reflection or content reflection is. So any question which pertains to that would be reflective question. Then questions are not neutral. Asking leading questions when you are seeking information closes off the options the client might not share in detail with you. Whereas asking open questions when you are intending to move a person towards the conclusion you want them to reach can be counterproductive. They might not reach a conclusion. Here you should ask leading questions. Then what is
Or pointed, or the close-ended.
Sorry, ma'am.
I'm saying either open, either leading questions or close-ended questions. When you want a progression, then you have to be focused.
Then we come on to passive listening, listening without reacting. We often think or read that passive listening is not a good listening skill, but being passive is not equal to being incompetent. Talking connotes power and control. Remaining silent, however, is not necessarily the reverse. Avoid filling every pause in a client's narration with a question. Lawyers do not lose control of interviews by listening passively. Keep this in mind. They may be listening where amazing things that can save them and their clients enormous amounts of time and energy as their relationship progresses. Listening also builds rapport by conveying in a powerful way that lawyers care enough about their clients to stop talking and allow them to speak. So initially, when clients are on the verge of mental or emotional breakdown when they are narrating their story, you give them the space to narrate their story. Do not interrupt, do not question, do not even reflect at that point. Just let them complete. They just want someone to listen to them first. Then non-evaluative responses like I see, yes, sure, they acknowledge that lawyers are listening while not indicating how they're evaluating the client's message. So do not counter question, just acknowledge. Passive listening is valuable because it lets lawyers receive information from their clients. It also affords a way of giving their clients freedom to communicate thoughts and feelings in interviews.
What happened? Asta? Asta, you're not audible. While Asta, I think we'll have to reconnect. Aman, I have a question for you. There are two Amans in this class. How do I know which Aman is you?
My roll number wise, my roll number is 85.
85. Let's check.
Hello?
And
Am I audible, ma'am?
you are 85. You are the 78 number, Aman Kumar.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, my roll number is 96.
Whose roll number is 96?
Ma'am, Aman Kumar.
Oh, that two, both the Aman Kumars are here.
I am here, ma'am.
हाँ तो चलो ठीक है, आपके उसमें नाम में ही है ना 96.
Ma'am, can I ask the question?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. Sometimes the client is so full of emotions, or he has so much to speak, and maybe his main reason is to tell his story. So as an advocate, we have a duty to listen to him, but at the same time, we also have a sort of a limited time. And as the client is not so well trained, means he will not tell you what's important from your perspective, but he will tell everything what he wants to say. So I have gone through this presentation as well as the reading, but still, ma'am, means in a practical sense, it seems to be little bit impractical actually. So how to deal with it?
Now, what we're saying is that you have to do a balance between the two. You cannot be completely clinical. You cannot be completely emotional. And we have seen this in case of when we were doing clinical work. In US, I was with the clinic, and there were these students who had to create we were in the juvenile justice clinic and the children's clinic. There are two kinds of clinics there. So the students were working as the advocates, and they had to establish a rapport. Because if you're wanting to represent the child, certainly you have to have a rapport and gain the trust in everything. And then the students had the same question, that ma'am, what they are asking us is कि हमें तो आप weekend पे अब हमें थोड़ा outing भी करा दो, बड़े भैया बन गए ना आप. So when you become the big brother, they want all emotional support also. So the lawyers don't have to become friends. कि ठीक है अब उनको वो अकेला है बेचारा, बड़ा परेशान है जिंदगी में, तो हम उनको अब emotional support भी देंगे. That's not our job. But showing empathy during interview is important. Because Karthik, what we need to also relate to our own experiences. When you go to a doctor in the government hospital OPD, they're in a hurry. There's so many people waiting outside. So some doctors would not listen to you. They will look at you. They will hear your 2 sentences, and they're ready to prescribe you the medicine. You like it. It's the same thing with lawyers also. So they're also hard pressed. The doctors are also hard pressed. But unless you can create a balance between the two, listening patiently as well as minding your time also, so then you can give them some time to अपने अंदर की जो भड़ास निकालते थोड़ा निकाल ले, फिर आप उनको रोक करके कहो कि हमें ये इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए होगी, या उनको बोलो कि अभी एक और मीटिंग कर लेते हैं, तो आज की मीटिंग में तो आज आप बहुत अपसेट हो, तो maybe we should have another meeting. So आपको हैंडल करना सीखना पड़ेगा. पर अगर आप वैसे वाले डॉक्टर बन जाओगे जो सुन के बिना दवाई दे देते, they might be giving you good medicine, but your satisfaction level is not there. And as lawyer, this is our human relations profession. So if one client is happy, they'll कहने लेकिन वो ना बहुत अच्छी advice भी देते हैं और सुनते भी हैं आपको पूरी. That's how people talk about the people that think they're good in their professions. But दवाई तो अच्छी तरह पर सुनता नहीं है. So I think these are the choices we have to make in our lives. That's what we have found. Usually we do ask people, when we after this presentation, we will ask you to identify meetings with strangers, professionals, whom you liked and the professional you didn't like. And write down the reasons why did you like such and such professional you met. And these are all people, they might be your principal, this might be doctor, this might be the DDA officer, this might be some person in the office, some office. There are always people we've been meeting in a formal setup. Some people we take a liking to, some people we don't take a liking to. Both of them might be doing our work. No, if you don't take a liking and he doesn't do a work, that's kind of one reason, good reason for not liking. But some people are giving you good service, efficient services, मगर वो आपको सुनते नहीं हैं. So that's where I think we are coming there. That's no, unless you give some time for the client to establish a rapport with you, they're not going to be feeling very happy. They might take it because आपका नाम बहुत है. Suppose you have reached a very senior level of being the lawyer, very senior and very respected, very well-reputed lawyer. और client आया, आपने उसे 2 बातें की, बाकी उसको भगा दिया, फिर आप lawyer से बात करते रहे. So you might be, because this is what you're saying, that there is this assumption that I know now what has been talked about. So the assumption that does not convey very nicely to the receiver of the information. That's the point I think Asta is making. Yes, Asta, we kind of waiting for you. You can resume.
Ma'am, which was the last slide you watched? I got disconnected.
Anyone who remembers, show the slide and I'll tell you.
It was yeses, yours.
Okay.
Share the slide and tell you whether we have done it or not.
I was reading this and then there was just this picture, a tweet.
We haven't seen this.
Then there was this difference between
No, we have
activists.
not seen any of this. We have not seen even in the previous slide. We were on the slide before that.
This one?
No, before this.
No, earlier one.
Yeah, इससे भी पहले. Passive listening पे थे.
Yes, so we had discussed this. Then passive listening, that is listening without reacting. We think that passive listening is not a good type of listening, but it is to be kept in mind that being passive is not equal to being incompetent. Talking connotes power and control, but remaining silent, however, is not necessarily the reverse. You do not need to fill in every pause in a client's narration with a question. Lawyers do not lose control of interviews by listening passively. They may be listening their amazing things that can save them and their clients enormous amounts of time and energy as the relationship progresses. So you can build rapport by conveying in a powerful way that lawyers care enough about their clients. So whenever a client comes to you, he might be on the verge of emotional and mental breakdown. So you do not need to interrupt every now and then. Let him complete his story. You just need to listen. Then there can be some non-evaluative responses like I see, yes, sure. So these can acknowledge that lawyers are listening. However, they are not evaluating. That can also be acknowledged. Then passive listening is valuable because it lets lawyers receive information from their clients. It also affords a way of giving their clients freedom to communicate thoughts and feelings in interview. There should not be a professional setup when you're interviewing the client. The client would not be very much comfortable in a formal setup, sharing his broken bond or his matrimonial history or something. So make him comfortable.
As Asta is speaking, are you looking at the videos which are available? And can you make, because others are not speaking while Asta is speaking. So can you make out who is listening, who is not listening? If you're nodding, if you're smiling at the same time, when you're supposed to. So when you acknowledge by your body language, the other person can also see. So that's also passive listening, but you're listening. I remember when जब हम छोटे थे तो हमारी दादी या बाबा जब हमें कहानी सुनाते थे तो कहते थे हुंकारा भरो. एक राजा था तो बच्चा ऐसे उससे हाँ. So they will get a feeling कि बच्चा listen, no, the child is listening. If the hunkara stop, then you को तो बच्चा तो सो गया. So this is what with them they say, yes, yes, I see. सिर हिलाया. So these are the ways to acknowledge that yes, you are listening. In the classroom, how do we know that you're listening or not? Who is listening? And certainly the girl, Neha, this was apparent. I called her name for so many times and she didn't respond. So she was not listening. She was not there in the classroom. She just had the video. She just had the login and then she was lost. This is what happens in the class when you do e-classes. In the classroom also, some students just switch off. Now, I am going to point out to Puneet. Puneet, were you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you were a little lost. You were somewhere else also along the way.
I was actually just listening. I was looking somewhere else, but I was just listening carefully because there are some network issues. So I was focusing on the audio instead of that video.
That's what I'm saying. No, keep looking at each other's videos. Keep those videos on and look at each other. You will learn lots of communication aspects just by looking at each other. As Astha speaks, you can notice who is listening actively, who is doing something else. So some of us have sent me an email while the class is on. So to me, they're not in the class. Anybody who is sending me now client interview while the class is on, they're doing something else. They've left the class, even though they might be logged in here. So it's not a very good sign that when the class is happening, we are all doing something else along with it. We are not such multitaskers that we can do everything at the same time. So people think it's good that they are sending me right now, but for me, it's not a good sign. Anybody who has sent me an email while the class is on is a negative for me. So that's the impression I create that, okay, this student, because now they wanted to be in certain group, now they become active and they want to now leave the class and still pretend they're in the class. So there are lots of ways in which we interpret information. I'm quite sure the students who have sent me an email while the class was on were not thinking that I'm going to take it as a minus for them. They would think, oh, we kind of made the remedy. But for me, it's not a remedy. So I certainly think that we have to pay attention, and these are the ways. When you look at each other's videos, look at the body language for each one of us. Why did I put Puneet? Because Puneet's body language suggested to me that he was mentally, he was paying attention, but at the same time, I do believe, Puneet, that you were thinking of something else also. That's my understanding of your body posture at that point of time when I picked you up. So someone, so I can see that you are very actively listening, and Karan is of course getting very bored of whatever conversation is happening.
No, ma'am.
Look at Aman's body language. When you sit like that, your hands folding, it conveys. What does it convey? When you see someone sitting like this, oh, I think I'll have to. Yeah, sitting like this.
I feel it like it is in relaxed mode. The person is in relaxed mode.
He's not ready to accept our thoughts.
सर्दी है तो ठंडी लग सकती है, और गर्मी के मौसम में तो गर्मी सर्दी तो नहीं लग रही होगी अगर एसी नहीं चलाए तो. But it also means that I am watching, I am still evaluating, I am listening to what you are saying, but it is not necessary that I'm accepting what you are saying. And do you think that you had that state of mind when you were sitting like that?
I think it meant listening passively. I was just giving attention.
Passively तो था, मगर listening passively तो था, वो तो सबका ही है, तो बोल रहे हो सब लोग passively listen कर रहे हैं. But some can show their expressions to say that they are very involved in it. But when anybody, this is kind of general, it's not necessarily 100% accurate, but we do have a science of body language. So when people sit like this, पीछे होके बैठ के, तो ठीक है, मैं देख लूँ क्या हो रहा है क्लास में. Or if I'm sitting like this, I'm also noticing, some of the videos, I'm going like this. So we're going to ठीक है, मैं मजे ले रही हूँ, मस्ती हो रही है क्लास में. So there are always this little gesture which will indicate. कभी एक दफा हम बिल्कुल सामने आके कुछ बात करते, I'm talking to somebody very intently, so I'm little forward bending. So you're straight away, you're backward, you've got your hands closed, you are sitting like that, every gesture will convey something to you beyond your words. You don't require words to convey. And that is why it is important to listen to what Asta is saying. Also keep track of your class fellows to make your own assessment of the person's reactions to what's happening. Okay, so yes, Asta. So this is what we're talking about, that when we are talking about passive listening, we are also talking about that there has to be, when you say yes, sure. So I'm not making any kind of judgment on that. At the same time, I'm showing that I'm listening to you. So in the classroom, you don't say yes, sure, ma'am, yes. ऐसा नहीं कहते हैं, but you still nod. अभी परवेज ने nod किया. So when the moment you do something, you respond to. इसको pinpoint किया तो एकदम से वो क्या था, अभी पुनीत एकदम से सीधा होके बैठ गया. So I know that he immediately responded to what I said. अमन को भी point out किया तो वो भी सीधा होके बैठ गए हैं. अभी अमित क्या सोच रहे हैं? अमित बहुत अच्छे से देख रहे हैं कि क्लास में क्या चल रहा है. इधर लॉ वर्क की कोई बात हो नहीं रही है. Amit, what are your thoughts?
Just listening, man.
Yes, listen तो हम सब कर रहे हैं, मगर दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है? But that's where. No. You have to start. You don't want to share, don't share. That's not the compulsory part of it. But in order to be active listener, we must be aware about the thoughts which go in our head when we are listening to someone, whoever that person might be. So if you become aware, then you will know whether you were in this class or your thought had gone somewhere else. But if we believe, if any one of us believe that while we are listening, no thoughts are happening in our mind, then you have to be a yogi. We are all mortal human beings. For us, certain thought processes constantly keep happening in our head. And therefore, becoming aware, then you can bring your mind back. So let me come back to the classroom. It is very important to therefore identify what were your thoughts. So when we reflect on something, we certainly take, conference में तो ऐसे बैठ जाते हैं बहुत, because this is much more कि ठीक है सर दुख किया सीधा रखे तो उसको टिका लिया हमने. But it also means कि अभी ये बंदा सो भी सकता है. पर जहाँ आप कंफर्टेबल पोजीशन में आ गए तो आपका आलस भी साथ में आ जाता है. So somewhere keeping, and therefore I keep on insisting कि अपना videos लगाओ. Now I've done this, I have kind of said, okay, only people with videos will be shown in my grid. So now I can see how many, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 लोग हैं हम जिनके videos on हैं. So even these 13, 14 people, we can keep track of to learn what we're talking in terms of passive listening. Yes, Asta, I think we are going to about to another 5 minutes, and we are not going to finish the presentation today.
Ma'am,
we'll continue.
Ma'am, it is done. Just
Okay.
the second last slide. 7 seconds before attorney will interrupt a client. So when you're doing active listening or passive listening, one word which you need to delete from your vocabulary is interrupt. You do not interrupt your client ever. Just let him complete. Then second, there's a difference between active listening and passive listening. Both of them are equally required while you're interviewing your client. However, it depends upon the situation, which kind of listening you would like to adopt. You can just go through the difference. So here,
when usually you will ask an open-ended question, then till the time that person has completed the answer to the open-ended question, you should passively listen. After that, you can perhaps do a summary. Okay, this is what you have learned. And then you may ask a close-ended question saying, okay, this is more information you would want. So you may plan. So in all interviews, I'm going to put up another material which one of our colleagues have shared recently. These are bullet points. Some of them are appearing in our material, some of them are not, but these are very good bullet points. It's a long document, but all bullet points. So I would suggest all of you have a look at that document. It tells you about stages, about do's and don'ts and everything. It's a very exhaustive document on client interviewing aspects. It's somebody's slide, which a colleague of us has shared with us. And I don't think we know who has prepared that, but it's a very, very good material. Before tomorrow, have a look at that document, and then we will continue with it. That what are the other points? What we certainly need, what we had not at all talked about today is still the inhibitions in communication. What we have learned is what are the primary do's and don'ts in an interview. We need to learn what are the stages. So when we say stages, we are talking about every speech, every writing, every communication usually has got 3 parts. Suppose somebody makes a phone call. आपके अंकल का फोन आया, तो कोई जना अंकल का फोन, कोई जना अंकल बन के फोन करेगा, कोई जना रिस्पॉन्ड करेगा.
हेलो,
हाँ भाई, अंकल जी का फोन आ गया, कोई तो जवाब दो.
हाँ अंकल जी.
अब आपको कैसे पता चलेगा फोन आया? नहीं, वो तो आजकल सेल फोन है ना, मालूम चल जाएगा कि अंकल जी का फोन आया. हाँ बोला. हाँ अंकल जी.
हाँ अंकल जी बताओ.
कैसे हो करण बेटा?
अच्छा हूँ अंकल, आप बताओ.
बिल्कुल बढ़िया, बिल्कुल बढ़िया. भूल गए हो आजकल तुम, हमें याद भी नहीं करते.
अंकल जी आपने 50 दिन बाद कॉल किया है, आप भूल गए हो? हम तो डेली मिस कॉल मारते हैं आपको.
अच्छा खैर छोड़ो ये सब. और घर पे सब कैसे हैं? पढ़ाई लिखाई कर रहे हो या नहीं कर रहे हो?
पढ़ाई लिखाई थोड़ी ढीली चल रही है, बाकी सब सही है घर पे अंकल जी. कभी आप भी आओ घर पे.
हाँ बेटा, ये कोरोना की वजह से मैं बाहर नहीं निकल पा रहा हूँ. आऊंगा. और बताओ, बाकी सब कैसा चल रहा है? मम्मी पापा कैसे हैं?
सब अच्छे हैं, सब आपको बहुत याद करते हैं.
याद करते हैं लेकिन फोन नहीं करते.
अरे यार, नेटवर्क इशू. हाँ क्या बोला अंकल जी? आपने क्या बोला? नेटवर्क इशू था, थोड़ा दिक्कत होगी.
यही कह रहा हूँ करण बेटा, याद ही करते मम्मी पापा, लेकिन फोन नहीं करते मुझे.
अरे परसों ही मम्मी ने ट्राई किया था, आपका फोन स्विच ऑफ जा रहा था.
खैर छोड़ो ये सब.
आप काम
चलो
करो
बात
अपना.
कराओ घर पे किसी से.
अभी तो घर पे कोई नहीं है, सब बाहर मंदिर गए हैं.
ठीक है चलो, जब वो आए तो उनसे कहना कि मुझसे बात करेंगे. याद कर रहा था मैं उन्हें बहुत.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल अंकल जी.
और तुम भी आया करो, अगर बाहर निकल रहे हो तो घर पे होके जाना. ठीक है?
हाँ बिल्कुल.
और अननेसेसरी बाहर मत जाना.
हाँ वो तो नहीं जाऊंगा.
पैंडेमिक चल रहा है, याद है ना तुम्हें? समझ रहे हो ये सब?
अंकल जी नमस्ते. ठीक है रखता हूँ.
फोन ही काट देते हैं आज के लड़के.
Good job. Now look at this conversation. There were 3 parts to this conversation. The middle, there was initial, कैसे हो, सब ठीक है घर में. Then he's asking about specific information about the family members, and of course making complaint कि मुझे कोई याद नहीं कर रहा है. And then end में भी चलते चलते advice भी कुछ दिया. So there were the beginning, the introductions, establishing contact, then substantive conversation, and then अच्छा bye bye, ending with he. So all conversations should have your minimum 3 parts. First, courtesies, then coming to the substantive part, and then ending the conversation. And of course, depending on what the context is about. So lawyer के लिए जब शुरू में कोई client आया है तो आप उसको क्या क्या सवाल पूछ सकते हो before you come to the substance of the problem? क्या पूछोगे? आपको
well-being of the client.
हाँ जी.
Ma'am, because there's a pandemic, so in this situation, maybe the well-being of the client.
अगर pandemic नहीं हो तो well-being नहीं पूछेंगे?
More so because there's a pandemic, but yes, well-being should be the opener, breaking the ice question.
नहीं है, suppose pandemic नहीं है तो क्या पूछेंगे फिर उससे?
Ma'am,
Still, ma'am, there would be a well-being.
Offering some water. Have a seat and get some water.
आपको चेम्बर ढूंढने में मुश्किल तो नहीं हुई?
हाँ मैम, just like this.
किसके रेफरेंस से आए हैं?
Have you faced any problem?
हाँ, कुछ किसके रेफरेंस से आए हैं? किसी ने आपको मेरे बारे में कैसे पता चला? तो जर्नल जो हम स्मॉल टॉक कहते हैं. So in the initial you will do 1 minute, 1.5 minute small talk. फिर पूछेंगे अच्छा फिर उसका अब सब्सटेंस पे आना है तो ट्रांजिशन कैसे करेंगे? What will be the question you will ask?
Ma'am, how can I help you?
अंकल जी को तो पूछो कि अंकल जी फोन कैसे किया? पूछ सकते थे ना?
कैसे आना हुआ?
How may I help you? Okay, so now this is a sentence I wanted somebody to speak so that I can respond. How can I help you? The moment we use the word help, we are creating a hierarchical relationship between yourself. मैं तो help करने वाला हूँ और ये बेचारा आया है, इसको मदद की जरूरत है.
Ma'am, rather the right question पे how can I be of your at your service?
उसमें भी थोड़ा ज्यादा वो है. What brings you here? What do you need? What do you want? So tell us what brings you here. तो कहते ना neutral.
मैम वही मैंने बोला कि कैसे आना हुआ.
हाँ, नहीं कैसे आना हुआ? बताइए क्या बात है? क्योंकि कोई ना कोई तो बात कभी लॉयर से को मिलने आता है. मगर हम कहते हैं कि अच्छा हम आपकी कैसे मदद कर सकते हैं, तो हम कहते हैं हम तो केपेबल हैं, हम तो आपकी मदद कर ही सकते हैं. तो आप ना कर पाओ, उसकी प्रॉब्लम ऐसी है कि आप उसकी मदद नहीं कर सकते. हो सकता है. So therefore this
Ma'am, what if the lawyer asks, is everything all right? Will it be a good question?
No, but certainly everything is not all right. That's why the person has come. ये तो assumption है ना कि अगर वो लॉयर को मिलने आया तो दोस्त को मिलने आया तो ठीक है, assumption हो सकती है कि सब कुछ ठीक ठाक है. और अगर वो लॉयर की कैपेसिटी में मिलने आया है, तो then certainly something is not right. What is bothering you? What is it that you want to talk to me about today? So let's first understand ना, because help तो तब करेंगे ना को problem पता चले. आपको तो problem ही नहीं पता. So I think this is a very common thing. Most people would say, how may I help you? And I think जो material share कर रहे हैं उसमें भी वो sentence लिखा है, how may I help you? But I certainly have reservations on that statement. People can decide for themselves. हमने कहा ना client-centered interview and lawyer-centered interview. तो लॉयर सेंटर्ड इंटरव्यू में है कि लॉयर को क्या क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए वो अपने हिसाब से इन्फॉर्मेशन को कलेक्ट करते हैं. बट टुडे वी डू से दैट वी हैव टू बी सेंसिटिव टू द फैक्ट दैट
if somebody is going
just one second.
Okay ma'am.
Because whatever happens after the what you can do as a lawyer, you will provide the best legal services to that person. Best legal advice. And suppose divorce चाहिए किसी को, आपने divorce करा दिया. Divorce के बाद में जो जिंदगी है वो उस व्यक्ति को चलानी है. आपको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा उसका divorce हुआ या नहीं हुआ, बट उस व्यक्ति की जिंदगी में बहुत फर्क आ सकता है. So therefore, it is important to understand that the client has to take the consequences, and therefore the client should be the one who makes a decision. Suppose आपके घर में कोई महिला है जिसको बहुत ज्यादा मार पिटाई चल रही है, डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस चल रहा है. Can I take a decision for her? उसको डाइवोर्स ले लेना चाहिए क्योंकि उसका हस्बैंड उसको बहुत डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस से प्रताड़ित कर रहा है. Can I make the decision for her? चाहे मैं उसका भाई हूँ, चाहे मैं फादर हूँ, अल्टीमेटली जिंदगी तो उसको गुजारनी है ना. So we can tell her the options and then let her decide. My sister came back, leaving her husband, an abusive husband. उसके बाद में उसको केस फाइल करना है कि नहीं करना है cannot be my decision. I can tell her that these may be consequences. She would also know what may be the consequences, and she has to take that call. And I think that's where it is important to have client-centered interview. The focus has to be what does the client want. जिन लोगों ने मुझे प्रॉब्लम फ्रेम करके भेजी है, मैंने सबको ये पूछा कि आप चाहते क्या हो. And this is something your lawyer should ask you, that what is it that you want. We have a very nice story about Sunday shoes. एक महिला थी, so she was on welfare US की बात है, तो उनको वेलफेयर के लिए पैसा, मंथली पैसा मिलता था बच्चों की देखभाल के लिए. So that money was given to get the food for the children. तो उसके बच्चों के शूज बहुत खराब हो गए थे, पुराने हो गए थे, टूट फूट गए थे. और उनका तो संडे को चर्च में जाती थी, and she felt that it is very demeaning that her children go to the church not wearing the proper shoes. So she diverted that money, which was meant for food, for purchasing the Sunday shoes. तो सोशल वर्कर ने बोला कि आपकी तो स्टाइपेंड बंद हो जाएगा अगर आप ऐसा करोगे तो आप कुछ कुछ बोल दो वहां जाकर के आपको पूरा उनको पढ़ाया गया कि आपने नहीं संडे शूज कहना है, आपने कुछ कुछ और बातें कहनी कि आपका पैसा कैसे खर्च हो गया. But she was, so उसको पूरा एडवाइस करके काउंसलर ने फिर हियरिंग पे बुलाया, जब वहां पे उनकी हियरिंग थी इस मैटर में. तो she went there and told the true story कि मैंने तो जी वो डाइवर्ट करके शूज खरीदे because for my children's prestige and self-respect, it is important for them to have the Sunday shoes more than the food. For her, telling the true story was more important rather than trying to secure her stipend. So for her self-respect, that she was not an irresponsible parent, her emphasis that she has taken a very responsible decision was much more important for herself, because she had to live with herself. She didn't want to tell a lie into the proceedings. And she wanted to assert that this is something very important as the food for the child is. She told that story. So somewhere we have to respect and understand what do the client want. Maybe ये मेरा case कमजोर कर देगा बात को. But that's a choice that which the client, you can tell them कि ये कहोगे तो इसका consequence ये हो सकता है. और उसके बावजूद में भी क्लाइंट कहना चाहता है तो वो उसकी मर्जी है. यू कैन नॉट कि नहीं प्रोफेशनल एडवाइस हमारी है कि ये तुम बिल्कुल नहीं कहोगे. आई थिंक दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू मस्ट हैव, बिकॉज द कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस ऑफ व्हाटएवर हैपेंस, द क्लाइंट्स हैव टू लिव विद दोस कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस. सो आई थिंक विद दिस वे
sorry to interrupt. Yes. Ma'am, we have another class actually, drafting.
हाँ बिल्कुल बंद करेंगे. चलो.
Sorry ma'am.
So, not at all. It was just right. We should have. In fact, I have another meeting myself. So
Okay,
we need to stop now. I stopped recording and see you tomorrow.